Hey there, guys. We've got news for Global on July 13th, and this week joining me to discuss the news is GaijinTree. So you can say hello.
Thanks for having me, Sinzar. It's great to be here, and I'm excited to talk about the news.
Indeed. So, Final Fantasy 9 event. This is pretty much expected from the JP schedule. We kind of assumed this was coming next. But Thief of Tantalus Zidane and then Little Summoner Aiko are the new units, and then the Freya that you can mostly ignore. She's an old awakening that's not super great. So, are you a Final Fantasy 9 fan, just out of curiosity?
No, I haven't actually played Final Fantasy IX. A lot of people I've talked to said it's really good, and I'm going to go with it's probably good. But no, I haven't played it.
It is. I would actually rank it as my personal favorite of all the Final Fantasies. Is I enjoyed 9 the most of all. It's a really good game. So the
Well,
banner. Oh, go ahead.
sorry. At least from what I remember from JP talk, the Titus Zidane is actually fine.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's pretty good. So the banner is the armory step up. So the usual stuff is the same ones we had before. I think they added a new ring that we can real quick look at. This ring is new, isn't it? The Ring of Hallows.
It looks new.
I don't
I haven't touched this. The armory shop, but this looks new to me.
Mm-hmm. This ring, I don't think it's that great, honestly. Like, it's barely better than Edgar's STMR. I don't know. It's just like, why wouldn't they just give you a full ribbon effect instead of these three? It just seems underwhelming, in my opinion.
Yeah, it seems like a halfway point between like a stat ring and like some utility, but it kind of just doesn't do either that great.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's only a few points better than the next STMR down.
Yeah, so if you're pulling on this banner and you've already cleaned out the entire shop of the old gear, that's your only pick. But honestly speaking, that's probably the last pick of the gear. I would personally say it doesn't seem that great. But the unit. So Zidane is not getting upgraded whatsoever, it looks like. I think overall he did kind of need it because his damage is not the best overall. It's like very middle tier. It's kind of
Yeah, I haven't. I've seen some people in the JP chat in the Discord going like, "Yeah, he's fine for like when it comes to wind content, he's really good, but in DV you just have to use 750 leader skills while they're around."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's we'll jump to his leader skill. It's 500 for wind or Final Fantasy 9 units, only attack and magic, 200 for defense and spirit. So sad face for the spirit scalers. But yeah, he's basically just like a DPS, and he deals damage. It's sort of underwhelming damage, kind of like on the same tier as like Snovlinka and stuff. Slightly better than that, but not by a whole lot. Yeah, he hits things, and he's a 500 win leader. Not much more to
Yeah,
say.
yeah. I think this is the last 500 mono element leader skill that JP gets without including them in another banner for a while.
Yeah, there is the water one, the last one for water, which is I think. Oh God, was it
Dragon.
Roos or Yish? I think it was Roos.
It's Ruse. It's like water dragon Ruse or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he's actually like you mentioned, they went on like a vacation for leaders for elemental leaders for like 3 months. Then he came.
Yeah.
But yeah, so his vision card is being updated. This is the old vision card, like, can you get any lazier? So they just recycled the vision card and slapped 500 flat stats onto it, and that's the vision card. It still only has 110 base, which is pretty terrible, so you're probably not even going to want to use this on himself.
Yeah, the vision card we got with Elena and Ibarra's banner is better form than this one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most of those global exclusive vision cards with the unrestricted 500 attack and then 130 or higher base would absolutely be better on him than this. Speaking of vision cards, yet another skip. Where's the proper wind card? Again, this came with Zidane. You know, we missing the Earth card last week with Snovlinka. Now we're skipping the wind card with Zidane. As you see, it is not here. Global just loves to skip stuff. So how do you feel about just not having the wind or the Earth card available, Gaijin?
I was hoping that we would get some sort of system to get those premium cards, because they're a cool idea. I ended up getting like the ice one on Tyvis's banner in the future. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was really cool, but yeah, the fact we're skipping these cards they're actually pretty good. It's a bit annoying.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So his STMR is a weapon, as usual, and his TMR is kind of whatever. It's, Esper stats on a relatively low base accessory. Not super great. But there's Zidane. And then Little Summoner Aiko. So she is in the base form, a wind support. She's got 45 Amplify. By memory, I think she has single target 100 Amplify to wind at EX2, but I could be mistaken. I'm not sure if she does or doesn't. And then her shift form is an evocation damage dealer with a wind imperil field. Honestly speaking, she's probably a better unit than Zidane, not counting leader skills, of course. But she's okay. I've used her once or twice in JP. She's a decent wind support. The field is really, really nice. It's nice that she combines two things in one. Like the other good wind imperil field is Ellie from Xenogears, and Ellie is just a complete dead slot other than the field. At least Aiko can do stuff, so that's nice.
Yeah, it's always nice to have fields. That's the thing we don't get a lot of with global units, I'm finding. So we're often relying on JP units to get our fields in for DV.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like she's, a decent unit. I'm not going to pull for her, but she's nice. So her vision...
she's not one.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, she won't be one you'll be mad to off banner.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And her vision card is a Magic Final Fantasy 9 card. This one is, more in line with the generic cards. Like, why couldn't they buff this to 130? Like, can you get even just more low effort than this? Like, 110 attack? Come on. Even this one... Oh, go ahead.
It doesn't even have LB damage either.
Mm-hmm.
The Ico one does. It's so weird.
Well, this one does for Final Fantasy 9 only.
Sorry, I completely skipped that. Was that part of the upgrade?
Good question. I don't remember. It could be. I don't know.
That's fine.
But yeah, so there's her card. As usual, STMR is a weapon. The TMR is kind of generic and not great. You're not going to use it. But yeah, she's a evoker in the shift form. Her damage is, honestly, not super great. Evokers just don't get treated well these days. Until Tyvis coming in the future. He's actually a good evoker. But yeah, her damage is, like, it's there. It's better than Ellie, but it's not going to be topping the charts or anything. It's the reason I say she's good mostly is because of her support skills in the base form. But yeah, that's Aiko. She's okay. And then Freya, the Awakening, not super great. It's an Awakening.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone's going to EX3 Freya just for the event bonus.
Mm-hmm. Yep, EX3, farm the bonus, and then forget that she exists. Yeah, like she does. I don't know, like it. You're not going to use Freya. Let's just be honest. You're not going to use Freya unless you're a hardcore fan and you don't care about like unit performance. So
no,
there it is.
Yeah.
So the other thing is the login bonus. So this is pretty typical for the shards, but I kind of overlooked this last week. I'm going to mention it this week. They have on Global decided to no longer give out free VIP coins. Since the introduction of the VIP system, a year, 2 years ago, the free source of VIP coins has been the Day 8 login, where you get 100 or you get 400 per month. They removed it last week. That's gone again this week, so it seems to be they're just gone, period. So how do you feel, Gaijin, about Global just basically taking away the free sources of VIP coins for players? Like,
yeah, it's not a great look, honestly. They give us kind of like a pretty underwhelming anniversary, and then they cut out some extra stuff that they were giving us, and then skip some more stuff, and it's not looking good for them.
Yeah, just like the fact that they're doing this kind of stuff on the anniversary is so just a weird decision. Like, if you want to get cheaper and make the game less accessible, I don't agree with that. That's a bad decision. But at the very least, don't do it on the anniversary. Like, it's supposed to be a happy time. And this is when they're choosing to take away all the free stuff.
I don't particularly remember last year's anniversary very well, but I feel like just 2 weeks of anniversary content doesn't feel like enough to celebrate.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying 2 weeks. What was the second week? Because I feel like there was just one.
It's just the 2 weeks of the cows being out, right?
Oh, I guess. I mean, that's a whole nother topic on itself. Like, the Clash of Wills this month feels so generic and dull. Like comparing to Thanator last year, this Clash is, oh my god, night and day. Not nearly up to par. It just feels worse. And then the event is a farming event. Not much to say. The gear is generic and bad. There it is. Insect killer. Yay. That's the event.
Yeah. As always, the stuff's like pretty decent for new players who need your killers and resists and whatever. Like, that materia seems pretty reasonable for new players. Like, it's a full ribbon effect.
It is. I don't. Oh yeah, it is the full ribbon effect. Yeah, it is. So it's a free ribbon plus some evocation. Now, yeah, I guess it's not terrible for a new player. It's fine, I guess. Yeah, but that's the event. And then the EX stages. So the gear stage, as we've mentioned, Global has been taking away the special missions, so it's super easy. Take literally anything, OTK it on turn 1 or something, or just take like I've been doing for the budget runs for like six weeks now. Take an Omni cover tank, take a single DPS, and kill it in 3 turns. They're easy. They're real easy. But the gear is for Zidane. It's his gear. And it's fine. And then the EX stages. So, full disclosure, on the JP server, I have not beaten level 4 of either of these stages. I have not crowned my Ricard or Emperor because of... I probably could on the JP server, but these fights were just too annoying for me. I didn't bother. And my options, even if I could, my options are not good on the JP servers. Like, so Wind and Final Fantasy 2. Final Fantasy 2 is a non-category. There are no units that matter. So basically Wind. That being said, on the global server, Wind is Samurai Chizuru, and she should be able to carry this even if you don't have anything else.
Yeah, you put in your Chizuru, you put in your Bulwark.
Mm-hmm. Bulwark, too.
And you're going to probably have an easy time with it.
Mm-hmm. So the Emperor fight is a little irritating because on turn 0, during the ambush, the Emperor will summon a Golem and some Black Knights by memory. The Golem will auto-cast Omnicover. So it's just like a big headache of a fight. And again, if you don't have units like I didn't on JP, it was just too much of a bother. I tried it I'm like, forget this. I'm just done. No. But on Global, if you've got Chizuru, she's an AoE chainer. It should be totally fine, and she'll probably kill this in 2 or 3 turns, and that'll be fine. And then the Ricard stage, by memory, the Worm didn't do anything special. It was easy. It's just like, once again, I just didn't have any Wind or Final Fantasy 2 units on JP, so I didn't bother, and I skipped it. But on Global, again, Chizuru gonna carry you.
Yeah, I started playing on JP after these crowns happened, so I don't think I even owned the units to make it worth trying these.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't remember them being particularly good fights. Like nobody's like, yeah, that fight was like actually fine.
Mm-hmm. And then the upgrades themselves. So Emperor gets the usual stuff that Breakers get. His Magnus becomes 89, 89. His LB becomes 88, 80. His SLB becomes 88, 89. He gets more damage. Big air quotes there. Not really. Yeah, that's basically it. His SLB becomes better breaking, and his Magnus becomes an 89, 89 break, like, Yish, Laguna, etc. became. He's the wind version.
Yeah, he just falls in line with all the lions and edges and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Not Edge. Not Edge. Global skipped that one.
Oh, we don't have Edge.
We don't. Global loves to skip upgrades. No, we don't have the lightning, the budget lightning breaker, because Global figured they had to sell Angeal, and they didn't even give us Edge after Angeal came out. Yes, I just get so frustrated with that. And then Ricard, his damage becomes higher. They didn't fix him because they didn't give him a 150 amp. He's still a jumper, which means amps don't work in the first place. And his damage is still blah. Like, it's better than it was. It's usable. It's not great. So, anything special about these two upgrades, Gaijin?
I'm always excited for 9999 breaks. I kind of just like having them. I just never know when to... Because in JP, the on-demand 99 was really good. But we kind of already have on-demand 90s in Global, so it's less good, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And now for my most frustration about this update this week on Global is where's Bart's? Where's Bart's upgrades? He was the upgrade this week in JP that mattered. He was the most important upgrade and the only one that was relevant. So Global is giving us the two the two bad upgrades that don't really matter. Like, you're never going to use Ricard. Emperor, like, you might see him once a month on some OTK turn 1 team. You're not going to use him in real content anyway. But Bart's after his upgrades was very, very good. You can look on my JP damage sheet. He's at the top of the pack with his upgrades. He does extremely high damage. He would have been like one of the top 5 DPSs on Global with his upgrades. And Global is skipping Bart's upgrades. This is the stupidest, because this is the wind week. This is when we're supposed to be getting all of this wind content, etc. And Global is skipping the most important wind unit update is Worldly Traveler Bart's upgrades. And Global is skipping them. And this is I can't stand the way they just run the Global server into the ground. They could care less about players getting the upgrades that matter. Same thing about how they skipped, like, Carlet for 6 months. She's still not here, by the way. Like, any kind of free upgrade that matters, Global just wants to skip it. And how do you feel about that, Gaijin?
I love that JP upgrades all units. It just makes the game easier, more accessible, and just that right extra amount of fun and complex. So Global kind of just ditching that for giving us just global units instead, it doesn't feel nearly as good. Because if you off-banner Bart's, you're kind of stuck with a subpar DPS forever. At least he got upgrades in JP.
Mm-hmm. And they made him extremely, extremely good in JP. And he was on, like, the top units, Dark Visions of that month in JP, because he was just literally a top 5 damage dealer.
Yeah.
But Global skips it.
I think that Bart's is the beginning of a trend in JP where they start buffing units to relevancy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when the Tyvis banner comes out with the Roost Leader, Titus gets, his 150 amp and damage boosts, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Star Player Titus or whatever the Neo Vision
New
version.
Guardian, I think.
Oh, New Guardian Titus. Yeah. Yep. So we'll have to see if Global skips that as well, because anything that's good, Global likes to skip. If it's something useless like Ricard, let's give it to us, because that's not gonna affect the bottom line. But any kind of useful unit, nope, can't have that. Got to skip it. Same thing as same BS like them taking away VIP coins. Like, they just want the game to become purely whale only, which drives away casual players, and then it just that's what gives the game like a slow death. And this anniversary has been really highlighting how much they have just given up on caring about Global. Like, all the bad stuff, the anniversary is extremely low effort. You can go to Reddit, you can go to Facebook, and just every other post is, why is this anniversary so bad? And it just feels horrible.
Yeah, it also feels like they're baiting whales into spending on bad units. Because I know that there's some whales that definitely pulled for Bart, knowing that he becomes a top 5 DPS. In a few, after Ace comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And, that feels like a kick in the teeth to the people who they're supposed to be pandering to.
Exactly, and especially people that pulled Ace with the Bart's upgrade in mind, because, you do need Ace for that Bart's team. And just... Global's nope. We're gonna say this. They did the same bullshit with Riku. Riku and Zac. So people pulled for Zac, and they waited until right after the Zac banner closed to announce, nope, now we're killing Riku. You just pulled for this premium leader for your Riku. Now it's time to kill it. So joke's on you. They have really been doing a lot of that lately.
Yeah, it's hard to tell these days if Gumi are evil masterminds or if they are just that, accidentally stupid.
Exactly. So anyway, summary is, we're not getting Bart's. If you like Bart's the way I do, too bad, I guess. And then another Grace trial. So Grace of Wind, this is against the, I think this was season 3, Hollow Dragons or whatever. They're all dragons. You can take Richt, take Ibarra, and kill it super easy. It is wind, so bring someone to buff wind. It's got the field, etc. I'll try to do budget runs. I'll try to do the Richt OTKs if I can make it work. It might be two turn clears, because these do get bulkier and bulkier as we go. But it's a new trial. Have you beaten this one in JP yet, Gaijin?
No, I don't have any wind units, at all. Because the Rebels don't have wind. And I went all in on Rebels when I started.
Did you, out of curiosity, pull the Esper Tyvis?
I tried to pull for him. I got 2 rows in, and I just didn't get it.
Oh.
But I did get the Rorca.
Oh, okay. So then this is kind of off topic to Global, but just, it is interesting. In JP, I cleared this using the Neovision's Awakened Axstar. And if you've got an I'm serious. If you've got an
yeah, I know about this. It's really funny.
Yeah, if you've got an Esper leader skill, like the Esper Tybris or the Esper Roca, then the free Neovision's Axstar, Awakened, can solo the straw. And he does it in 2 turns. It's ridiculous. He's ridiculously strong, which is a big signal. Global is probably going to skip him when he's due in a few weeks.
Yeah, when the Esper banners come in a month and a bit, keep an eye out. If they skip Axstar, there's a Deva Axstar, then that's a pretty clear sign that they don't want us to have nice things.
Yeah, the 5-star. And then we're getting Dark Visions this week, even though... oh, never mind. No, I'm sorry. This is the combined. When I was thinking Dark Visions Abyss, but no, we're not getting Abyss. This is the combined Dark Visions. So it's also 3 weeks long. If you look here, it closes on August 2nd. So this is going to definitely overlap with Clash of Wills, because we know Clash of Wills is coming this month. We had the bulletin. There will be a Clash of Wills in July, and Dark Visions is going literally the entirety into August. So there's going to be overlapping. Not that I really mind about that. It's just that they made like a big deal when Clash came out, like, stressing on the stream, we're never going to overlap Dark Visions and Clash, and they've done it a few times now, and they're still doing it. And again, I don't really think that's a big deal. I just think it's amusing that they made it a big deal, and then they're like just backtracking that.
Yeah, I would personally prefer Dark Visions to be, 3-4 week type thing. If Gumi could manage to, do their kicking out cheaters and stuff in time, but 3 weeks is actually pretty welcome.
And it does open completely on the first day, which is pretty nice.
Ooh, that's really good.
And then the other nice thing is we are getting the next level of Dark Visions weapons, 3 of them. So the two-handed rod, the two-handed dagger, and the two-handed harp. So these weapons are decent. Honestly speaking, the dagger and the harp are very specialized. You're probably not going to use them. But the rod can be good on a few units. Kind of like... The thing is, these days, every single unit has an STMR weapon, so is it even that good?
It's kind of hard to say, because as the STMR weapons get slightly better each time, the raw stats the DV weapons have over the STMRs just stops mattering as much. But the rod is still definitely good.
I have to do some math to see if it's better. I think by memory, the break point is like if the weapon has 250 or less stats, the Dark Visions is better. If the weapon only has 500 flat for the STMR, somewhere around there, not counting the fact that you might be losing like Trust Mastery and all that, depending on the unit. But sometimes this can still be better than the STMR weapon. For example, Sephiroth. Like the Dark Visions Katana is, better than his special weapon. Stuff like that.
Yeah, it also depends on, whatever weapon imperils we get.
Yep, very true, very true.
Global might decide, hey, we're going to give you a 45% instrument imperil for some reason. That would suddenly make the bell really good.
It would, definitely. And then the other thing is they have updated us and told us how many keys we're getting. This just I'm glad they're giving information, but it just makes it even more starkly obvious how bad this is. So 2 keys per week for veterans and only 1 key. So we're getting worse in the future. Literally getting worse. We're going from 2 keys down to 1 key per week starting on the 27th. So, can this anniversary get any worse? Not to mention, I talked about this in a previous video, they are taking away unit fragments from the Lapis shop and putting them in the replica shop, which veterans cannot afford. You cannot afford to buy the replica fragments, which are the only options now because they've taken away the Lapis fragments. And yet, veteran players can't afford because it's 5,000 per unit, and we've had Elena, Snavlinka, Ricard, we're getting Zidane, we're getting Aiko. That's 25,000 replica worth. We have not gotten that much as veterans, so they're literally impossible to buy the fragments with this new system. And again, it's just Gumi is taking the anniversary and just taking things away from us. So once again, we have less access to unit fragments thanks to the anniversary. So again, Gaijin, what do you think about this?
The only thing that this key information we're getting has going for it is that it equals 7. The rest of it is horrible news. You can't even wail if you want more fake Lapis. You can do 1 bundle, I think, but after that, veterans are kind of just stuck.
Yeah, I think I'm personally at something like 10,700 total. I'm not sure the exact amount gained. I know you can get 2,000 more with the step up and 5,000 more in a cash bundle. So that's 21,000. So even if you bought nothing else in the anniversary, you still cannot afford all the unit fragments. And that's not even counting if you had bought things like the tickets or the special selects, etc. So yeah, just the anniversary is just like taking every chance possible to rain on players. Every chance.
I'm really surprised that they managed to make Anniversary this celebration of global and just kind of ruin JP content with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you just can't get shards.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. You just can't. You can't get shards. You know, they're taking away the vision cards. They're skipping the good units like Bart's. And then also, by the way, this is the update from JP, you know, this stuff. So we're also not getting any of the Garuda stuff. You know, they did say in the news this is coming in August, but why are they delaying Garuda, the Sealed Tower, and the Item World updates an extra month? Like, is that necessary? This was supposed to come out with the Zidane banner. Like, Garuda and the Garuda Tower, and then the Item World upgrade all should have been this week. And Global is just like, no, we're gonna take an extra month of delay because we don't want to give it to you this early.
Yeah, I don't understand how they had the foresight that they're going to need an extra month for Garuda to come out, like, 3 months ago. Like, are they actually that... But, like, is their work schedule that messed up in there?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if they didn't spend half of their time cutting content, like taking away Bart's upgrades, they could focus on keeping the existing content as it is, like the Garuda Tower.
Yeah, we know for a fact that it takes extra effort to cut content because there's been a few times where we've accidentally gotten a unit's full upgrade.
Exactly. When Global it's like, you know, whoopsie, you know, we forgot to remove an upgrade and it slipped into the patch. That happened with Lauren. Lauren got completely upgraded by accident. You know, you don't accidentally upgrade a unit. It's because they didn't cut it and it was already in the data. Same thing with Zidane. Zidane, the older Zidane, all his upgrades came in on a patch 1 week, and then, you know, Gumi was like 2 days later, like, whoops, we forgot to remove those too, and they went and hotfixed it and took Zidane's upgrades away. Yeah, oh my god, it's just, I don't know. Like, I love Brave Exvius, but the Global team is making it hard to love it these days. It really is. Like, it feels like they're just trying to drive players away. I don't know.
Yeah, I love Brave Exvius, but it feels like if this trend continues, a lot of people are going to just start shuffling over to JP.
Maybe. Could be. JP is going to Path to X, or whatever they're calling it soon. The new JP special news coming very soon. So that'll be fun. But anyway, that's basically it for this week. Thanks again for joining me, Gaijin.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, there's the news. I'll be doing Dark Vision stuff on Thursday. Not sure if I'll do the final boss on Thursday. I might, work on it for a bit. But yeah, we've got that. We've got content. We've got easy stages, OTK these with Rick, or budget clear it with Dwayne, stuff like that. We'll have it done. So, see you then.